Alright, I'll probably like clip the beginning, the first few seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hi Giselle, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Do you remember what today is?
Yeah, I think this is our last session.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't believe we're here. Like, can you believe it?
I think it went by really fast.
I think so. I mean, we've been able to spend like the last 16 weeks with each other.
Mm-hmm.
I know that we extended a little more just due to some of the, things we experienced, early on.
Mm-hmm.
But thankfully, through, familiar support, we were able to, progress and move forward.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel?
I feel good. It's a little scary because I've been seeing you for a while. But I feel good. I feel like it's a good thing. I feel like I have progressed a lot. I'm not as scared, to go outside as I used to. Even just thinking about it doesn't give me as much anxiety as it used to. So I definitely do feel like it's been very helpful.
Yeah. Right. Yes. I did want to cover a little bit about like what today's session will look like, just so that we can make sure that we're processing all the feelings that might come up during the session. Like you mentioned, we've worked with each other for a while, and just where we started and where we're at today, we've definitely had a lot of growth with each other, especially like all the hard work done on your end. And I'm just so grateful for you for that.
Thank you.
Yes. So today what it will look like is we're just going to kind of just touch bases on how things are going, just kind of tie up any loose ends of things that might be bothering you or what might have happened since the last time I've seen you.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll just kind of go into just reflecting, on the progress you've made, just looking back on, what could happen in the future, how to kind of handle those, just kind of discuss the skills we worked on and how to utilize those skills in future situations. And just knowing that, like, we're terminating sessions now because we've met our goals, and that is great. Like, that's the best thing that we could do. Hey, Giselle, pat me back. But I also want you to know that, sometimes things do come up, and I want you to know that, just because we're successfully completing this treatment plan doesn't mean that you might not have things come up in the future that you might need a little bit of, assistance or support in. And I want you to know, where to go and how to get that support.
Yeah, no, that sounds good.
Okay. So could you tell me a little bit about like this past week? How have things been, like just leading up to the session for you?
Yeah, so I've actually, obviously, like I still have some, scary thoughts that come up when I think about like going outside. Like going to school and stuff sometimes is really scary. I remember last week it was my mom's birthday, and she wanted to throw like a little party at the park, where we used to go to when I was younger. And I like noticed myself thinking and like getting scared and being like, okay, like what if this happens? What if I do see a dog out there? What if I do like something just bad happen, from being outside? But I was able to kind of when we worked on like the reframing, I think that's what you called it, right? Where like I changed my thoughts.
Yes.
I kind of was able to calm myself down too. First I did some breathing exercises. I remember we did the box breathing. I really liked it. So I did a little bit of that, and then I kind of like calmed my brain down and focused on my breathing. And then I was able to kind of stop that thought from like circling. And I was like, okay, Giselle, like, this is for us, like for your mom, and there's not, I might see a dog there, but it doesn't mean it's going to attack me, right? So we were able to like have a really good birthday party. I actually ended up going, and I wasn't like as outgoing as I would have wanted. Like I didn't go like play in the playground with my cousins, but I was there, I made it out, and I noticed I did that like with my brain, and I was like, okay, like I think this is like what I learned. So I think I did take on that, and I have been like doing the activities like outside, like on my own. I've been trying to, and that one really, like, that was the most recent thing that happened that I was like, wow, I learned.
Wow, I'm really impressed. Like that's phenomenal to be able to be in such a moment of distress and like start to have all the feelings and thoughts come up, and then to be able to remember to utilize these skills we learned in therapy. You know that some of these skills we learned early on, some of these we learned 2 months in. So I'm really grateful that at the end of our the ending of our treatment plan or sessions, that you're able to actually utilize and use multiple skills at once, and then be able to also reflect on that yourself, to acknowledge that you're doing this. In that moment, was there anything coming up as far as like bodily sensations?
Well, I remember like thinking about it, like my chest was kind of getting a little bit tight, and that's why I did the breathing exercises.
Oh, great.
And I honestly didn't even realize I was doing like what I had learned until I was like, wait, I like just calmed myself down. So yeah, I definitely felt it in my body. And then again, I was able to like notice that like, okay, my brain was gonna start spiraling. So then that's why I did the breathing too, to kind of like, I noticed it in my brain, I noticed it like in my chest area where I was getting like that anxiety was like building up, and I was getting like really anxious about it.
Okay.
But yeah, definitely that.
And I really like the example that you utilized, just being that you were going back into a situation that was a place for you that was once unsafe, and you were able to remind yourself of the space that you're in, and remind yourself you are you're in a space that is safe with safe people. And do you feel like there was something about that moment in the event that was happening that I guess would have brought you into that place of calming yourself?
I think it was like I was thinking about the fact that it was my mom's birthday.
Yes.
Yeah, and she was turning 44. So I was like, that's like a big age. Like I want to be there, and like my aunts and uncles were coming from out of town, and I was like, I don't want to like miss out on this. It was the fact that it was like an event that I wanted to be at.
And this was also, as you were mentioning, a really large gathering. You had family from out of town.
Yeah, I did.
I recall when we spoke about the quince that you had went to for your friend, and how that situation ended up, and how you actually ended up having to leave that gathering. So I'm amazed, Giselle. Like, great job. Look at the hard work you put in.
I think it's also because it was like people that they're my family. I know them, and they are like people that bring me comfort. So that made it easier too, to like, get myself out there. And like, yeah, like I said, I didn't like interact as much as I wanted to, but I think I'm proud of myself for that like step that I took to like actually like being there, even just being present, right?
That's great. And I know that you're mentioning the changes and things that you've been able to, see yourself do. What are your family and friends saying?
Well, my mom was really happy. She was really, really proud of me. I remember, like, I think I talked about it in the past, but, like, sometimes she would feel like she would pressure me to go out. But I know it's because she wanted, like, the best for me. So she was really happy that I could make it to her birthday. Because it was, it was me and her for a long time, and until my siblings were born. But it was really special for her, so she's really proud. My aunts and uncles were surprised to see me there, too. Wow. They were like... And they're like, wow, just like, damn, like, okay, hi, So, like, that was really cool. And, yeah, no, I felt like they really, like, were really proud of me. They were really happy that I was, there. And it's just proud, yeah. I think they see that I'm trying.
Right. Yeah. I'm really happy to see that your family's also acknowledging and giving you that praise. I think that's really important in, this part of you being able to maintain this confidence and the ability to utilize these skills in future settings. I did want to ask, I know when we first started, one of our goals, do you remember what it was as far as like around the neighborhood and going with your mom?
Remind me.
Going for a walk around the neighborhood.
Yes, going for a walk. That was really hard for me. I do remember that. But like I said, like at the event, I was able to be there. So not interact as much, right?
But that was one thing that we were following up from last week, to be able to really fulfill our goals. And I would say that you did it. I mean, not only does it take that walk from your house to the park, because I remember you've lived in this house for a really long time. You've been able to see that tree in your front yard grow from baby to its root. Yes. So
sure, I didn't even think about the walk. Like, the walk to the
You
park
did.
itself is a walk. Yeah.
So I just wanted to take the moment to acknowledge that, like, that big accomplishment that we were able to actually, not only meet the other goals of treatment, but that one was just so important to you in the beginning. I remember how much pressure you felt, just, and how much anxiety and the panicking that you experienced just with trying to think about getting out the door and putting your shoes on.
And like I do still get anxiety, but I feel like I'm able to, instead of it controlling me, I'm able to kind of control it a little bit more than what I wasn't able to do that before, like, at all. Like,
right, and
I had no way of doing it. Like, I feel like I have more control over it now,
I'm so happy to hear
Yeah.
that. And what are your feelings about, this being our final session, just therapy ending, and then just, being that this was a relationship we've built through, trust, and just having this relationship of you being able to speak about how you're feeling?
I think part of me feels really good because I know you have helped me a lot, and I do feel like I've kind of learned a lot and been able to apply that to, like, my life. So that I'm really grateful for, and it's like makes me feel really good about myself too. I know, like I said, it makes my mom happy, so like I'm glad that she's able to not be as stressed, and but also, like, part of me is scared because, like, what if I don't have, like, it just feels like, what if I need the support, and like I've been coming with you for a while, and it's just like it makes me sad to let go, and also it's I don't know, I'm not really good with, like, a lot of change like that. Like, it already took a lot to even come here in person, and that's just that part of me that's, like, scared. What if, like, it gets bad again,
Okay, well, I did want to do something with you just to kind of help in these situations, just to kind of plan for the future and, what this looks like. So today I have brought here a pen and a card, and inside of the card, I'm going to ask you to write 3 different things. And these could be, a skill that you learned, it could be an affirmation, and it could also be just, motivating words. It could be a phrase, anything that really helps you get out of your head in these moments that have helped, before. Anything that we've tried.
You said 3 things?
Yes.
Okay. Definitely the box breathing.
Yes.
And then another thing that I do tell myself is that the world isn't as scary as it's in your head.
I like that. The world isn't as scary as it is in your head. Right. And is that a saying you came up with?
I think so. Yeah, I heard it a lot in, like, TikToks too.
Okay.
I'm on TikTok. And I think it really resonated with me because also, like, a lot of it is my thoughts.
Right.
Like, when we were talking about the, like, changing my thoughts and, like, making them more, like, less scary, more positive, or, like, changing them up. I think that's a big one. Like, it really is in my head,
And I would say that, in being that, seeing the homework that you would bring in each week, from the beginning and to, like, the middle of the session, I would notice, like, the anxiety log, even though it was only required twice a week, you'd actually bring it in to me a couple times a week, like that you did it multiple times past the twice. And then I've even noticed that there were occasions where sometimes it'd be twice in a day, 3 times. And, like, now that we've gotten into the last month of our sessions, I've actually noticed that you were maintaining that twice a week. So I've even noticed a decrease in, like, those thoughts and, like, the utilization of the anxiety log.
Yeah, no, I didn't notice that until you just mentioned it. So yeah, I guess that means it's, like, I've been doing good with my anxiety then.
It means you're doing the work. It means that like you're utilizing these new skills and you're, you know, practicing. You're trying to remind yourself like, what are new other skills that I could, you know, gain? Like being that you have this new saying, the world is not as scary as it is in your head.
Yeah, no, I really like that. So box breathing, the world isn't as scary as it is in my head. Or in your head, I'm talking to myself. And then
it could be another skill, it could be an affirmation, another phrase, it could be a poem.
Oh, that's nice.
And the point of this is whenever you're having one of these days, that you're able to open up this card and it can bring you back to a place of feeling grounded, or at least knowing what to do the next step.
Okay, I think I'll use another affirmation. Affirmations help me with like also my head, you know, my thoughts.
Yeah.
It's just like I'm proud of you, like telling myself that after I even like do the box breathing, or you know, after like I tell myself, you know, I use that to help me as well. And I'm like, yeah, I'm proud of you for like using that and also like doing the box breathing, but also getting out there and doing the work, you know?
Right, and then now what I would like you to do is take the card and put it inside the envelope.
Okay.
And then if you would like to close the envelope.
Oops. I've actually never touched an envelope in my life.
Oh, it's okay. Would you like any help?
That's
Oh,
okay.
you did it.
Got it.
Well, I know at 14 you probably don't wrap a lot of gifts and send a lot of cards. My apologies.
No, you're good. I was making a joke.
Well, you know, it went right past your therapist's head.
It's okay.
So next, I'd like you to put on top, just as a title, like Open When.
Okay. Oh.
And then if you could list maybe 3 or 4 different scenarios or things you could think of that might trigger you, or where you might need this card and a gentle reminder.
Okay, maybe like when it's getting bad again.
When it's getting bad again? What does that look like?
Maybe when I can't reframe. That's what it was called, right? When I'm having a hard time reframing.
Okay, I think that's a great one.
Okay, when I'm having a hard time reframing. Okay. Another one. Maybe when it's like when one of my friends' birthday's coming up, because then like if I do want to go, obviously because they're my friends, but I know like it's gonna be around people that I don't know, right? And it's gonna make it like more difficult. So maybe when I like when it's a significant event.
Yes.
Okay, number 3. That one's hard.
So, what about when you are in settings, such as, you know, when you're in the car driving with your parents past possibly like the dog park?
So like maybe taking this with, so I would be taking this with me.
You could.
I would have it on me. Okay.
This could be something that you could carry around with you, especially being that, you know, you have, you know, had to experience what you had with the dog in the past, and being that you have experienced being attacked, and then that we've overcome all this growth. I feel like this could be so useful whenever you know you're going to enter a situation where there are animals there.
So like I could also, like in the car then, yeah. I could put like when I'm in the car and I'm about to go somewhere or like step out.
So then what does that currently look like for you when we're getting into the car? Like when you were on your way here for our last session today, how did that feel?
Well, because I kind of already know the space, and like there's not a lot of people in the waiting room most days, and it's just me and you here. Like it was okay, but I guess like when I first came, right, that was really scary. So I remember like my mom. We stayed in the car for like 20 minutes before I even like got out because it was like really hard for me. So I guess like yeah, even like when I go with her to she wants me to go with her to the store and stuff, right? I think that could be really useful.
Okay.
With me.
That's great. Well, I thank you so much for doing this with me. I just wanted to make sure that I was able to allow you to leave with something today. Just being that, you know, I wanted us to have a plan in place for when these situations might come up. And when these situations do come up beyond these skills we're able to use, could you think of any skills that were really helpful that we've learned?
Yeah, so, well, definitely the box breathing would be one, right?
Yes.
I always did the muscle relaxation.
Okay.
Maybe that's another one that I could use when I'm starting to feel anxious again. Or when I feel like I feel it tight in my chest. And then, I mean, the one that I've been practicing too with the reframing of the thoughts as well. And I think along with that, like the affirmations.
I like that one. And then what about any grounding techniques besides the box breathing?
Muscle relaxation. Oh, I remember we did the what was it called again?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yes, that one. Which that one I have used too. But I use more of the box breathing. But no, I have used that one too.
Okay, and I wasn't sure if no, when we first learned 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, we went and did it in one direction, like 5 things you can see, touch, feel, and those are interchangeable. So sometimes it might not be 5 things you want to look at. It could be 5 things that you can touch and feel, and it could be 4 things you smell, or 3 things you're actually listening to. Just it could be different. It doesn't have to be in the order that I taught you.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
And then as far as like anticipating like future therapy, has that been something that you were knowledgeable about? I know in the past you've had your history with therapy, and given that we've had a better experience, just given the feedback you've given me over the last couple weeks, I just wanted you to know, like, that door doesn't close just because we're ending treatment today.
Okay.
Were you aware of that?
No, I wasn't. No. How would I do that if I wanted to?
Yeah, so sometimes in life, things come up. Right now, the point of what brought you in was, to help alleviate those symptoms you were feeling. And we're at a point where those symptoms now are manageable, and you're able to manage the anxiety to be able to actually, leave the house and be present with me today. And those situations can come up, or just as we've mentioned, when you're in the car, having to go to the grocery store, being that there could be a service animal there, there could be a variety of different scenarios that could take place. It is really good for us to be able to know where to turn to and what that looks like. So when your symptoms are exacerbated again, what I would do is, one, let your mom know, reach out, let your mom know how you're feeling so that they could also provide that support, but allowing her to know that, things are getting bad, that to the point where you feel you're not able to manage those on your own, and then getting back in. And that could be just coming in when maybe you're in a crisis. I have walk-in hours. My door is always open for you. And then even if there's a service you may need that I can't provide, I'm always going to make sure that I provide you with the best referral to the person that I think, is capable of helping you. And additionally, know that, you can come to therapy for any reason. It doesn't just have to be, maybe that you're not just experiencing anxiety. Maybe you're having some academic troubles or even troubles at home. I want you to know that you're able to return to therapy, and we're here for you.
Okay, that sounds good. Yeah, that makes me feel a lot better too, to know that.
Thank you. I know that we've touched a little on the stages of change.
Mm-hmm.
We talk about, pre-contemplation is kind of when you're like, oh, I don't really know that there's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just living life. And then there's compensation. And that's kind of where you're starting to identify that there's a problem. So kind of like, when you were doing school online and then you started realizing some of the kids, since we had been affected through COVID, you started noticing at the end of COVID, the kids started returning back to school, and you were noticing that, you weren't really ready to go outside, but we weren't sure what to do with that. And then we got into the step of planning. So then we got into the stage of planning, and that's kind of when you started reaching out to your mom, letting your mom know what was going on with you. And then when you and mom were both ready together, you started to seek out therapy and you started doing the work. You started coming in, meeting with me, and that's the action stage. And that's where we were at. Mm-hmm. And right now, where we're at, since you've actually been able to come meet in person and we've been able to manage those symptoms, we've entered maintenance. And during maintenance, it's just kind of maintaining all the work that we've done. But there is a last stage, which is called relapse. Do you know what that means?
No.
So relapse, it could also be known as like just going backwards, going back to, what you were previously doing.
So like if it gets really bad again and I start like not going
outside, yes.
Okay.
And that would be a situation where we would definitely want you to come back in, to therapy. Mm-hmm. But in that relapse stage, I want you to know that that's normal, that it happens, that just because we attend therapy and we graduate therapy doesn't mean that, life's not going to present. Mm-hmm. Life is going to show up in ways sometimes we don't know. And I want you to know that you have not only just the skills entering the future to utilize, but knowing that therapy's here and that we're here for you as well. So in that relapse stage, what that could look like would be maybe you're not going outside, or maybe going outside not as frequently as you were building up to. And then maybe just, isolating, not talking to mom about what's happening, what's going on. And then I want you to know that, as I mentioned, that relapse is normal, coming back to therapy is normal, and know that the point of therapy is to help alleviate those symptoms, to help you see a reduction. It's not that...
That makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
And then beyond that, I just really wanted to just check in on like what your thoughts are. Just given the session and the thoughts about terminating, this.
Yeah, well, it makes me feel really hearing about the fact that like you're still like an open resource for me, that like I can come back if I need to, and the reminder about like letting my mom know if like I do feel like I'm getting bad again, or if I'm isolating more, or if maybe like my anxiety is getting worse and bad again. It makes me feel like I'm supported, even if like I'm not actually coming to therapy, so I can come if it's needed. But like I am like comfortable with where I'm at. I hope I don't get to relapse. But like you said, I know it's not the end of the world if that happens. It's normal. But yeah, I like that I'm in maintenance. I'd like to maintain.
And that's good. That's the goal, is just to make sure that these symptoms that you feel are manageable, so that we can progress and meet other goals. What are some future goals you have for yourself?
Definitely going to the birthday parties that are coming up for my friends. That's one of the main things.
Let's write that down. Let's write down some future goals here.
So future goals?
Yes.
Birthday parties for friends. I want to go on more sunset walks too.
Oh, I love that idea. I know that you've been doing the sunrise walks with your mom, and I'm so proud of you. I know in the beginning it was just really a lot to be able to get that thought there, but to actually be doing it, Giselle, I'm so proud of you.
And like sunset ones like can be busy.
Yes.
afternoon walks. People be going.
Yes, I know that that's something that later on, through a couple months we've been working with each other, we've discovered that now, the sunset. I didn't even consider, prior to working with you that, during sunset there's going to be more dogs out than in the mornings.
Yeah. So maybe I can try to do more Sunday ones because I feel like Sundays where it gets maybe challenge myself.
Yes, I love
it
that.
It gets busy Sunday afternoons.
Good.
I think that's it for now. The birthday parties, those are because those are coming up. The New Year's coming, the ones are coming again, and then definitely more sunset walks. I think I want to try to do those specifically on Sundays. Maybe 1 or 2 Sundays.
Okay. Now, how's it been going with your cousin? I know your cousin's just like your little sibling, and you tend to do a lot with your cousin, but just due to what has been happening, you weren't able to go play with him as much.
Yeah.
How's that been going?
It's definitely better. I mean, it's still not as often as I would have liked or she would have liked, but I definitely taken advantage of when I feel good and I feel better and I feel like my anxiety is more manageable when it comes to going outside. So I have been getting closer to her and interacting more. So that's something that's been improving. Again, I still want to build up, to getting out more, but it definitely has made the relationship a lot stronger.
Okay, good. So would you say that could possibly be a potential goal, is just possibly increasing your visiting with your cousin?
Yeah.
Okay. So I like that we've covered, just kind of the skills we learned in therapy, the skills we would use moving forward, and then just kind of what to do in these situations. Is there anything else that maybe you didn't get to discuss throughout therapy, or any fears that might be coming up before ending that you might want to discuss with me?
I think I'm okay. I think I talked about the fear of maybe relapsing, but feeling comfortable because there's that option if I still need to. I know it's still a resource. So other than that, I think I'm good.
Well, Giselle, this was the end of our session. I want you to take this card with you. I did have a special card for you, and it's just just a really special reminder. You could feel free to read this now or later.
Okay.
But I just wanted to allow you to take this with you and just thank you for all of your hard work and just everything we've done in these 16 weeks. I want you to know I'm super proud of you.
Thank you.
And I know moving forward, I have all the faith in your ability to recognize what's going on and then reaching out. And like you mentioned, you're aware now that this is a resource and know that our door is always open for you.
Thank you. I appreciate all of the help. It's kind of changed my life. So thanks.
Thank you.
Hopefully I don't see you again.
That's the goal. I'm just kidding.
Maybe I will. So, but it's okay. Yeah.
And if you do, we're here to help you and do this all over again as many times as we need to.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
So you guys know the line goes in places.
Okay.